Deductible Opinions.
Welcome to the Deductible Opinions podcast, the first podcast about film and film reviews. With us, as always, is JR.
I'm here.
He's here, we made it.
Yep.
And our producer, Zach.
I'm present.
And, and this week, we're talking about SpeedRacer. We're starting our first themed picks. And what was the theme? The theme was vehicles that are characters, or movies that have characters that are vehicles, or where the vehicle is a character in the film.
Yeah.
And so, Zach, your pick this week was Speed Racer, which we'll get into in a little bit. But before we get started with the movie, guys, what have you been doing and watching? Has anyone seen anything recently? Zach, have you seen anything in the last little bit?
I did watch Dream Scenario, a Nicolas Cage vehicle, and it was fine. I thought the first 2/3 of the movie were good, and then it was just a bit But Nick Cage is very good in it. I think you've seen it, yeah, Nick?
Yes, I also thought it was okay, unusual. That the premise being that Nick Cage he's a teacher, I think. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, he's like a university lecturer.
And what's the premise? He appears in people's dreams.
Yeah, he just randomly starts appearing in people's dreams. And at first, he's just an observer, but then, things take a bit of a more sinister route as the movie progresses.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those movies where I'm sure if I was smarter, there's something I'm missing. But it was okay. Yeah, I can't remember what I gave it, but it was okay. How about well, sorry, have you seen anything? Is that all, Zach, or anything else?
No, that is all. That is all.
That's it? How about you, John? Have you time to watch anything, or too busy with life?
I have a sick child, so I have not done anything since we watched Trap.
Wow.
Yeah. That is the last movie I've watched.
There you go. Well, I've seen a few little bits and pieces. One of the things that
Hit me.
both Zach and I have seen, I know I don't think you had a chance to see it, Jordan, was Alien Romulus.
Did not get a chance yet. No.
You saw that one, right, Zach?
Yeah.
I thought we might quickly talk about my thoughts on Alien Romulus, just really quick.
Yeah, man, lay him on me.
You know, Alien Romulus is the latest in the Alien franchise,
I'm just gonna mute you real quick.
taking place between Alien and Aliens.
A legacy sequel, I believe.
Yeah, it is kind of a legacy sequel. And I would say the legacy sequel bits of it were probably the worst. But I enjoyed it. The first 30 minutes of the movie, I thought, wow, this is incredible. They've done it. Right. This is a really good movie. It looks phenomenal. But then, like, as the movie goes on, it does start to lose you a little bit. Lose me a little bit anyway. I really liked all the new lore and stuff they added, like the idea of the cryo fuel, which they never went into in the older movies.
For sure.
The whole mining world that the start of the movie briefly takes place on is really clever and interesting, and I think adds to like kind of the lore. But all the callbacks were really lame. Like,
yeah,
we get to stay away from her, you bitch, and it's just out of place. Very, very lame.
Yeah, the fan servicey moments definitely aren't the highlights of the movie, but I really, really enjoyed it. And I've seen like a lot of criticism of this movie because of the fan service stuff, which I didn't think was too egregious. Like, it was out of place, but like I still had such a good time with this movie, dude.
Yeah. I didn't think it was too bad. The fan service bits, those weren't the bits that lost me. And overall, I think I gave the movie a 3.5, which is pretty high. The stay away, because there's other callbacks, not just stay away from her, you bitch, but the stay away from her line was the most obvious out of place one.
For sure. There's a certain CGI element that, I don't want to spoil for JR if he has unmuted us.
We'll briefly touch on it, but we won't spoil it. But there is a part of the movie that does kind of, I think, bring the movie down, where they bring back a deceased actor and they CGI him, or they puppet him and CGI him and bring him back to life, and they use AI to replicate his voice.
Dude, like Tupac.
Sorry?
Dude, like Tupac.
Just like Tupac.
Just like Tupac, bro.
Like they did with Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One. And it's just gross. And it ruins the pacing of the film. It takes you out of it. I don't like when they bring back dead actors at all. I think it's really... It gives me kind of a weird feeling in my stomach. Like, that was the worst part for me.
I think it would have been a 4-star movie without that bit,
How does that work? Do they need to get...
So
you reckon it ruined it that much?
Well, I don't think it ruined the movie, but it definitely...
Took half a star.
I took it. It's enough for me to take half a star off.
That's crazy. Do they have to ask the remaining family members if they're okay with it? How the f does that work?
I think they were okay with it because they got a lot of money, allegedly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I I looked into it, and the director said that he went to the widow and asked the widow, and the widow basically said, "Yes, you can do it. He would love to do it because in the last few years of his life, he was really upset because Hollywood wouldn't give him any roles. He couldn't get cast in anything. And I don't want to spoil who it is, but it's an actor who's had quite a career.
I mean, you can just say it, dude, because I'm gonna forget.
Well, it's Frodo Baggins, man. It's Ian Holm from
Bilbo Baggins, please.
Ah,
Ash.
Bilbo.
Bilbo, sorry, Bilbo. Sorry, I said Frodo because in my notes I said they shouldn't have used him. They should have put Frodo Baggins in.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood instead. I think that would have been clever. But essentially, she said, "Oh, he would have really liked it because no one would give him any roles before he died." And I was like, "That's
Interesting.
so sad. That makes it worse, not better for me." But ignoring
Um,
that, and that is unfortunately in the film too much. But ignoring that, the film is really fun. It's a fun time in the cinema. Like you go to the cinema to see a fun action movie. Alien Romulus is a fun action movie.
for sure.
I enjoy it.
Did you get an alien popcorn bucket?
No, I didn't get it. They didn't have it.
I
They should
also
have.
did not get one. They did not have it.
I have a question.
Sure.
Please.
I don't watch trailers at all.
Yep.
Yes.
You guys both watched the trailer, and Nick, I think you said multiple times that you thought the trailer ruined a lot of the movie. Is that still true?
A lot of it's in the trailer.
A lot of it's in the trailer, but not all of it.
Interesting. Okay.
Not all of it, but yes, a lot of it's in the
Yep.
trailer.
Yep. Glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I will quickly touch on probably the part of the movie that I thought was done the best. And this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. So, well, there's two parts I thought were done the best. The first is it's got a Zoomer crew. They're all early 20s and they're all like TikTokers. They're quite frustrating. They're not likable characters at all. And these are the main characters of the movie. And I think they're intentionally meant to be frustrating. And I thought this is really clever because basically what that does is a younger audience will relate and like that crew. An older audience is cheering for them to get killed.
For sure.
This is what slasher films were built on. And there was a lot of slasher film in this movie.
For sure.
And I like slasher films. Like we used to watch them, the three of us at your place, Zach. I love cheesy slasher films, and there was definitely that DNA in this film.
Out of curiosity, where, like, if you had to rank, like, where would you place Romulus in the ranking of Aliens films?
I think number 3. I think we go
Yeah,
Alien.
I was going to say it's my number 3 as well.
Aliens, and then Romulus, huh?
Romulus. Yeah.
I think so. And then
Crazy, dude. When's the last time you watched the 4th movie or 3rd movie?
Look, a little while ago, but I've seen them both enough times, and also I rank them far above Prometheus and Covenant.
whereas I've never seen the 4th, and I could not finish the 3rd. I tried to watch the assembly cut. I watched an hour and a half of it, and I was like, my God, there's like an hour to go. I'm turning this off. And I do not turn movies off.
Oh wait, that is what I watched. I watched the 4th Alien.
Oh, did you, dude?
Oh.
Yeah, just to
Sure.
remind myself how bad it was. So I
It's
did watch
bad.
something.
That's not good.
It was really bad.
I was impressed by how much people on the internet seem to love Prometheus and Covenant. It's just shocking to me.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I do wonder if sometimes that's a generational thing. You're looking at these now, maybe people who were in their teenage years who are now in their mid 20s that are posting a lot, very good at the posting aspect. And so sometimes when I see these takes like Prometheus, oh, I love Prometheus, I think, did you watch that as a kid in your formative years?
Mm,
Well, I mean, to be fair, that is us and Aliens, to a T
True.
as well. Like we watched that in our formative years, so maybe that
Yes.
that road goes both ways.
But I would argue that those movies are good.
Fuck
I'm
it
not
out.
biased. I'm not
Yeah.
biased when I say that.
100%.
Yeah, I thought I really liked Romulus. Is there anything else I wanted to say about it? Her name was Rain, and the planet rained all the time. Whoa, cinema.
whoa.
Huge. I mean, speaking of cinema, some of the the shots in that movie are beautiful. Like there's a shot. Actually, it's spoilers. I won't say anything. But there's some great shots of the space stations in particular.
Yes, and all the I think I told you guys, all the face huggers and everything were puppets that they
Yeah.
controlled
Dude.
manually. I'm
Love
assuming
that.
they probably fixed it up with CGI as well, but they controlled it manually with 2 remote controls that one person controlled to make it move, which is incredible.
And the alien, mostly prosthetics and as well, I believe, not CGI.
Is that right? Oh, they had a suit.
Yeah.
It's rare these days.
I wanted to talk about one scene, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
Jordan, you haven't seen the movie, but there's a new form to the alien now.
Oh, dude, shock horror.
where the alien now in between its face hugger form, like so in between its baby just broken out of the chest form and its
Yeah.
full xenomorph form, it goes to an egg, and the egg looks like some female genitalia. And there is this really goofy scene where this guy shoves a stun rod up there. It's meant to look like that. It's intentionally meant to invoke it, but it's a very goofy, dumb scene. I was like, is this serious? Are we watching the same movie?
Wait, so it hatches out of a human and then turns into an egg.
Now, yeah, they added that in this movie.
It's interesting.
There's some people on Reddit are saying, oh, because I don't want to get into it, but it could be special circumstances about not having as much incubation time. Incubation?
Right.
Is that the right word?
Interesting.
There's also another theory about they hatch faster, and like, the Reddit people they're all over it. They'll explain any plot hole. Don't you worry about that. They'll figure it out.
For sure. Funniest thing about that, just before we move on, is I saw that movie with my wife, Rebecca, and she has had the most visceral reactions to there's a certain alien point in it. And yeah, it's just been funny watching her like freak out about it.
Yeah, there's some real horror in there. A
Yeah.
few real horror elements. That actress,
Like gore?
More so just like
body horror?
body horror stuff. It's not
Okay.
gore, but yeah, it's just unsettling. You'll when you see it, because I'm sure you'll watch it at some point. You'll know.
Interesting. I'll have to watch it.
That actress, she's in Civil War. She was in Elvis movie, Priscilla.
Mm.
She's having a real blow up.
Yeah.
She's getting in a lot of things. So keep an eye on her. You know, get her on the pod soon.
Huge.
I'll send her a tweet.
Huge.
So, yeah, Alien Romulus. I've watched a few other things, guys. I'm all over it. I'm always watching movies. Can't let myself think. I did want to talk about, and I know it's a few things. I went to an early preview screening of a movie called Thelma.
Okay.
That we got invited to. It's the same company that we got those early preview tickets to Talk to Me from, like last year.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Great movie.
And it was a Cinema Nova this time. Thelma is a movie about a 90-year-old grandmother whose like husband has passed away. She's living by herself for like the last 2 years, and she gets scammed. So there's as old people do, it's an AI scam pretending to be her grandson, and she ends up giving money to a scammer. She mails it, and then the movie is basically about her family thinking, oh, like she's lost it, and trying to like put her away in a home. Essentially, it's a comedy and a heartfelt comedy. Takes it upon herself to try and track the scammers down in a Mission Impossible type situation to try and get the money back. It's a really good film, especially if you have, you've had or have grandparents who are suffering with dementia or just getting older. It was really good. I actually really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. One of the best movies I've seen this year.
Wow.
Yeah, so would recommend that when it comes out. I think it comes out 5th of September. So it should be out by the time this episode is out, hopefully. Give it a shot. It's a fun time at the cinema. You might cry, you might not cry, but it's funny. It's a good movie. So I just wanted to give that a quick shout out.
Nice.
Okay, time for the main event for our vehicles as characters theme. So the theme is, I haven't really explained it very well, is movies where the vehicle is a character, and that could mean the vehicle can speak, like cars, or it could be the vehicle is like Serenity in Firefly is a part of the scenery, is a character, or it could just be about vehicles. Fast and the Furious, right? The vehicles are an important part of the movie. And Zach, you picked Speed Racer this week.
Regrettably, I did. Yes.
What made you want to pick Speed Racer?
Well, a couple of things. I'd not seen it. I know it's garnered a little bit of a cult classic following in recent years, but more so than anything, I grew up watching the original cartoon as a child, because that theme song is such a banger. And so I thought, why, if we're picking vehicles, why not watch Speed Racer?
Why not?
I wouldn't say that the vehicle is the main character of this movie now, thinking back on the theme, but you know what?
He has a few vehicles, unfortunately.
Oh, it's definitely about it, though. They talk about the love of racing and the love of is it the X5?
The Mark 5.
Just
the Mark 5. They talk about that a few times. That's cool. Was the cartoon or the anime good?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't rewatched it in a while, but I remember watching it as a kid and loving that shit.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the series to certainly get anime brought over to Western culture for sure, because I think it's like a 1967 anime, and it was airing on I want to say Hanna-Barbera style cartoons,
all right. Well, I'm going to try to do a summary here. I haven't done my homework. I have not prepared. Don't let that clue you into whether or not I like this movie. Speed Racer. Speed Racer is a movie about Speed Racer, a young child who wants to race cars and keep it as PG as possible with his girlfriend. After winning some local circuit, the big world of racing comes chasing Speed down, and he soon realizes that the world of racing is actually the same as the world of boxing, and all the races are fixed in some sort of weird stock market scheme. He has a dead brother. Except, unbeknownst to him, his brother isn't dead, and is in fact Racer X, who has gone to great lengths to fake his own death to cause as much heartache to his family as possible for seemingly no reason. Speed Racer.
That's very good. Yeah, that's very accurate.
Yeah, I might have missed something. I think that's essentially what the movie
That's pretty
is
much it, man.
about. So
That's pretty much it, man.
Speed is a young boy who loves racing. He gets into the world of racing, but the world of racing is corrupt. He doesn't want to take a bribe and work for the crooked companies, and so he tries to fight against them by racing guys. So the movie.
You watched it twice. Let's start with that.
I watched the movie twice. I want to start with some pros.
Nice, dude. That's good.
The movie's got some good lines. It's got some quotable lines in it. I will say that. Stop steering and start driving. That's early. That's a good line. Once a rat, always a rat, and Rex Racer is a rat. That's a line just out of nowhere. That's great.
That's a really good one.
Huge.
One of the main villains, Snake Oil or Oil Snake or whatever his name is, says, "Let's pinch these turds off." That's a good one.
Iconic.
Another one of the main villains says, "Pancakes are love."
Okay.
It's true.
For me, I thought, look, the movie, it looks interesting design wise, but it's bonkers. The editing is whack. It's got way too many characters. It's got characters everywhere.
It's a lot.
If you haven't seen the movie, and you should watch the movie. Well, no, you shouldn't. Well, if you haven't seen the movie,
You should watch the movie.
the entire movie is green screened. There's not a single non-green screened scene in the entire
It's
movie.
actually quite phenomenal.
I do have a note that is ban the Wachowskis from using green screen ever again.
It's not done well.
Well, look, it was pretty early on, and a big thing, like
Yeah, but that's no excuse, man.
a strength, I will say, of the way that they've designed and shot this movie is that it actually may be one of the best live action adaptations of anime I've ever watched.
Yeah, I get it.
You know?
Oh,
I don't know if like, I just don't think you need to adapt anime into live action because it doesn't work. But they've given it a red hot go.
I'm trying to think. I watched that Aeon Flux movie once. Was that good? I don't remember. I don't think it was. That's a good point. What about the Ghost in the Shell movie? You've seen that with
That was
Scarlett?
I actually did like that.
I have seen that.
Ooh, it's got a contender. Got a contender.
I think if there is one contender for best anime movie, I do think it's the Phoenix Wright live action movie. But
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't like Avatar: The Last Airbender?
an M Night classic,
That live action?
I don't know if I've seen it, to be honest.
I've tried to. I can't finish.
Can I ask a question, boys?
Of course.
Who made the Matrix? Because it wasn't these motherfuckers. Speed Racer, Cloud Atlas, Jupiter Ascending, the new Matrix. Did the siblings just brain fuck themselves on drugs after the success of Matrix? Did they just go so hard that their brains rotted? Because what happened?
I remember
One
I
classic movie.
remember leaning over to Beck during one of the action sequences, and I just go, "These people directed The Matrix."
The Matrix is one of the best movies of all time.
Of course.
Like it's up there, whether you personally like it or not. It's one of those keystone movies that we have as a franchise. I mean, obviously the franchise isn't great, but the first movie is fantastic, and even the different things they're doing in it. But every other movie they've made, well, V for Vendetta was okay, but
Is that the Wachowskis?
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's with the fucking monkey?
There was a monkey in the anime, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Monkey, yeah.
The kid and his monkey are the worst, and the movie can't go 5 minutes without a fucking joke.
No, how fucking dare you, dude? Spritle was the
Chim
greatest
Chim?
actor in this film.
Again, they are integral characters from the
Yeah.
anime, but yeah, like the movie would be maybe 2 stars better if they weren't in the film.
2 stars. That's crazy.
Yeah,
At least cut them out a little bit.
at least.
Spritle's the only one fucking acting in this movie.
You liked him?
Yeah, I thought it was fucking hilarious, dude.
The funny thing is that there was actually a little bit of drama because of the chimpanzee. So Peter actually,
Dude, was it Michael Jackson's?
that wasn't Michael Jackson.
Okay, well that's good.
But there was issues with Peter where the animal safety representative on site saw the crew beat up one of the chimpanzees. There were two they changed
What?
in and out after it bit a child actor stunt man playing, is it Spittle, the young kid?
Bridal.
Spritle. They beat the crap out of it. But that wasn't the only animal cruelty thing. This film was placed on the unacceptable list for animal cruelty. There was also 5 piranhas who died of unexplained causes. But
Wait.
the leading theory is they killed themselves to not have to watch any more of this movie.
I was gonna say, were they real fucking piranhas?
Apparently there was 5 real piranhas that
That's crazy.
they just let die or let commit suicide.
They look like shit.
Oh my
I guess
God.
that's just what they look like.
I don't like animal cruelty in movies. It's one of my I can't watch some older movies like El Topo because I'm not a huge fan of it. So this movie,
Yeah, but at the time you didn't know.
my God, why? Come on, we're beating up chimpanzees, we're killing piranhas. What are the Wachowskis doing?
Yeah, they didn't really need to beat it, did
Maybe
they?
put the bong down. Maybe put the bong down and focus on directing.
So yeah, I mean, look, maybe they should have done an animated monkey. I don't know.
I mean, look,
The monkey had to be in the movie though.
let's not beat up the monkey. Maybe let's just not beat it up in front of the Peter person.
Wait, Zach, do you remember in the TV show? Does the monkey speak? I have a feeling it does.
I don't think so.
Anyway, I don't know.
Interesting.
Great movie though. Yeah,
Great movie.
that was
Great
yeah,
movie, though.
really good. The first thing I wrote down in my cons list, and I think possibly the first thing I wrote down at all was, "Oh no, the CGI." That was the first thing I wrote down for this fucking movie, dude.
My first note is dial back the contrast.
Can I tell you guys my first note? And I swear to God, this is my first note that
Alright.
I
Yeah.
wrote within 5 minutes of starting the film. I just wrote the words hubris and ego.
Well, that's curious, Nick, because my second note is just because they could doesn't mean they should.
Just because they could doesn't mean they should. Oh my God. Like, can we talk about the lead as well? I hope he was cheap. He was not good.
Yeah, he must have been, dude. Has he done anything else?
I think this movie killed Emil. Is it Emil Hirsch?
It is Emil Hirsch. And
I think it killed his career.
it torpedoed his career. Before this, he was in Wild Things, which was wildly successful. One of the pros I forgot to say before is that I really like Trixie, played by
Christina Ricci.
yeah, who's in the Addams Family as Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She actually does a really good job. She's probably
yeah.
They should have let her do a lot more because she got what the movie
Yeah,
was.
she's not in the movie much.
Yeah, but she got the vibe of the movie. It's a bit silly. But it's not. She was actually doing it.
Mm.
Racer X. Oh my! This guy, like, I know he's from Lost, and there's
Matthew
a reason
Fox.
he's never
Yeah,
been
yeah.
in films since. He is terrible as Racer
Really
X.
bad.
The whole Racer X thing also made me really mad. So Racer X isn't Rex, and I'm like, oh, okay. But then it is Rex, and it's
Yeah.
like, why? Why?
Facial reconstruction, baby.
Just because it happens, like when you adapt something, just because it happens in the source material doesn't mean you need to throw it in a 2-hour movie. You adapt it to work.
Mm.
You're saying it didn't work in the animated series?
No, I'm saying that, well, maybe it worked in the animated series, but you've probably got 800 episodes. It doesn't work in this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There were a few other people that were going to be the lead, and you guys let me know if you think the movie would have been better if these guys were the lead. Johnny Depp was originally set to star.
As the lead, wow.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt from our first episode
yeah.
from Beverly
Mhm.
Hill Cop. Oh, sorry, our second episode.
I think it would have worked.
Shia LaBeouf,
Yes, I also think it would have worked.
Zac Efron. Those all acted. I think all of them would have done a better job.
I don't think Johnny Depp doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Especially considering age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he would have been younger back then. This movie was.
Not that young. Not that young.
2008. You're not that young, man.
Yeah, it's a good point. Keanu Reeves was offered the role of Racer X,
Huge.
but he said no effing way.
I've seen the script.
That's fucking hilarious.
Everybody's career took a nosedive after this film, pretty much.
John Goodman, he's done shit.
Susan Sarandon?
So I had it written here. So John Goodwin, he was in a bit of a rough place health-wise and was mostly doing voiceover work for Monsters Inc. at the time. So I'll give him a pass,
Okay.
but his career did suffer for many years after this film.
Did 10 Cloverfield Lane come out after this? It must have.
Yeah.
Well
Way
after.
after. Way after.
Yeah, there we go. He recovered.
Susan Sarandon was in one successful film after this and then had a couple of years of like some disasters before her career kind of recovered. Obviously, she's in the later age of her career, so I've given them a pass for that.
Look, man.
Matthew Fox literally doesn't get another movie or show until 2012 after this bomb.
Dead in the water.
Years and years before anyone will hire him.
He was not good.
Look, man. Their career trajectory was already on the fucking way out before they'd done this movie, bro. This movie did not kill their careers.
No, well, for those two, potentially. They were in some good stuff before that. John Goodman, I did look at it. John Goodman did some good movies before this. Susan Sarandon did some good movies before this. Matthew Fox is on Lost. Everyone was on a career high until they did this movie.
Cursed movie.
Yeah, I don't think the movie killed him.
I will say Emil Hirsch, I feel like acting wise, not great, but is good physical casting for the character.
Yeah, I guess he kind of looks similar
Yeah.
to it. The racing scenes. The issue with the racing scenes is it's just someone sitting in a car that's not moving, and then they're green screening it behind to make it move.
It's like live action Mario Kart.
Yeah,
I think one of my cons in here is the racing is possibly the worst part of this movie.
and that's a big part of the movie.
It's a big part, yeah.
Yeah.
Only the Wachowskis could be like, let's do a movie about racing, but have zero real cars, you know? So
That car he was going to bang his girlfriend in, that was real, wasn't it?
that's a good point. I take it back. You're right, man.
Take it back.
One real car.
That was a good scene. Anything with Trixie in it. Any pros or cons, Zach?
I don't know if this is a pro or a con, but why does half this movie look like it's a animated Windows XP background? You know?
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
I know.
That's a good point. It looks pretty terrible. What did you guys think about the anime fight in the mountain pass?
Oh, is that the ninjas? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
No. The
no,
one
no,
where
no.
they stop in the mountain pass and it's all like the lines and stuff. I'm guessing it was meant to look like the anime, and they kind of do a fight
Yeah.
for a long time, and
It didn't really, like, I don't know why they did that.
it looked terrible.
Yeah. It did not look good.
They didn't do it in any other part of the movie, did they? When they were fighting the ninjas, they weren't doing that shit, were they?
I did like the ninjas. I like how the first ninja does something really sneaky to get that character drugged, but then the two other ninjas just like bungle their way in there. But I think my favorite line in the movie was more like a nonja. Terrible
was
what
so
passes
good,
for a
dude.
ninja these days.
After John Goodman does some terrible CGI wrestling.
John Goodman is so out of shape in this movie. He's
Yeah.
having health concern. I don't think he was a good pick considering his health
Yeah.
for the dad, for Papa. Is that his name? Papa?
Pop Racer, I believe it's Mum and Pop Racer.
Pop Racer.
Yeah, I could be wrong. Don't fact check me.
So, Zach, you might remember this because I sure don't. The racing on the tracks, was that kind of similar to the animated series? Because what I remember of this TV show is a lot of racing through like countrysides and across country.
Yeah, I remember lots of cross country racing to the point where it was.
Yeah, I don't remember much of the track shit.
Yeah, like it was almost like that other Hanna-Barbera cartoon that had like Muttley and like what's that called?
Yes, forget the name of it, but I know
forget the
exactly
name
what
of
you're
it as
talking
well.
about.
But yeah, lots of like cross country stuff with like zany car trap things. I just had a flashback then to the point where I think it's during the desert race, and they've got like the spikes on one car and the shield on the other, and then they're like doing like stupid like battling with the shield and the sword, and just it looks so goofy as hell.
Yeah, I don't remember that shit. I mean, one of my other notes is this Trackmania the fucking movie? Because that is what it looks like, and I do not remember that at all.
Yeah, I think like
Yeah, it kind of annoyed me.
the Wachowskis just really letting themselves go on this movie.
The Wachowskis said they wanted to make it avant-garde, and they wanted to make it a movie that's like going to a gallery, right?
Okay.
They wanted to they thought that children would be more accepting of a crazy type of visuals and stuff. But they wanted it to be like a gallery experience. You go to a gallery, you see different things. When they showed the executives like early films of the footage of the film and stuff, like the executives were quoted as saying, "Oh my god, are you insane? What are you doing? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen." And yet the Wachowskis kept marching on, never stopping. Like
hubris, absolute hubris.
Hubris.
It's a very expensive movie. The entire movie was filmed against green screen for all 60 days. So there was green screen in every single day of filming. 2
Wow.
months of filming, and you can barely tell. They tell us green screen. They've done a great job. A lot of the films the Wachowskis did after The Matrix, it seems like they ballooned their budget. They just tried to get as much money as possible, and you can't see where they spend it. This film, I can't see where they spend it. There is CGI. Maybe CGI was expensive back then,
I
but
reckon it would have been expensive in 2008, dude.
you know,
Yeah, but not. It's the compositing just looks so bad. I find it hard to believe that they couldn't have done a better job into what? When did this come out? 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah.
and they're only doing clearly one take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some of these actors are talented actors, and some of like Matthew Fox, you're telling me Racer X, that's the best you could get? I don't believe it. I've seen Lost. I've seen Lost. He's better on Lost, right?
Maybe they paid heaps of money to build some actual cars. I don't fucking know, man.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's
There's so many like shots where like they go, that it's like a reaction shot, and it's obviously not that person's arm, or like just all the compositing just so bad.
I think it's interesting that obviously we've done a couple episodes on M Night recently.
Mm.
Mm.
And there's a lot of talk about M. Night and his fall from grace, and he certainly did have a fall from grace. But I'm looking at the numbers, and the Wachowskis have had a much bigger fall from grace than M. Night ever did.
Right.
You know,
Besides The Matrix and like V for Vendetta, what other good movie have they made?
Yeah, exactly.
now to be fair, I haven't seen Jupiter Ascending, but I have heard people say it's not very good. The latest Matrix was terrible. Sense8 on Netflix.
I tried watching Cloud Atlas, but I couldn't do it.
I've heard that's bad as well.
I just looked it up just to clarify quickly because I thought this was the case. V for Vendetta was directed by James McTeague, but the screenplay was by the Wachowskis.
Yes,
Ah.
they wrote it. They wrote it, and they were second unit directors apparently, according to Wikipedia.
For sure.
Similar enough. It's their script. It's a good script. It's. I think it's. The V for Vendetta is not a bad movie, but I haven't seen it in a while. We'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed V for Vendetta.
No, I think their star has gone way down, and it makes me believe more. There's a lot of controversy about from a few people. There's a few different people, not just one, who say that they stole the Matrix,
Yeah,
and it kind of makes me feel like maybe they did.
for sure.
Really? I mean, do they say from who?
There's one guy who says that he posted it to a Japanese magazine
Okay.
article that the Wachowskis were subscribed to, but he's not able to find a copy of that magazine.
Interesting.
So it's
Interesting.
like either it's just too hard to find or he's lying. And there's a bunch of other people that say that the Matrix was stolen. There's been a bunch of lawsuits. Yeah. Guys, do you know what movie this went up against in the cinema?
No.
No.
No. This movie went up against Iron Man. Oops.
Wow, okay.
Oopsie. Oh, misread that one. That's a mistake. I did like a few things from it. I thought, as I said, Trixie was the best character. There is a scene where Racer X jumps his car and punches a Viking in the face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Do you know what other famous franchise Trixie is from, guys?
Christina Ricci,
Yeah.
Yellow Jacket. Movie or
Movie or film? I mean, movie. I have no
Movie.
fucking
What
clue.
other famous franchise is she from?
Ricci? So she was in the Addams Family.
Yes, she was. Adam's Family.
Was she in Casper the Friendly Ghost?
She was in Casper. Yes.
Dude, look at me
That's what I
go.
was looking for. Casper and the Addams Family.
Yes.
She was good. I think it's sad that she didn't have more of a career. I think
Yeah, it's a
she
shame.
seemed talented to me.
I think she's had a comeback in recent years, though.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad because when I saw this, she stood out to me. You said you liked the kid Jordan. The kid annoyed the hell out of me,
I do actually, unironically thought it was kind of funny.
which is fine. What else have I got here in the notes? Oh, I said in the notes, I said, should the Wachowskis be charged with triple homicide for destroying careers? Ernie
Yes.
Hertz's career is over. Christina Ricci's career is over. Matthew Fox's career is over. And I gave them a pass on John Goodman and Susan Sarandon, but otherwise there'd be
Their
5
careers were
caps.
man. I have a question, Zach, and you probably could cover this a bit more because it's film related. I mean, related to how they shot this. What's
Mm.
up with the bloody people scrolling across the fucking screen every
Oh.
time they're in a race?
That is one of my notes is overuse of profile shots to mask cuts. It's just like when you have a full screen like that, it's
Oh, is that what they used it fucking constantly?
non-stop to the point that it was like distracting. But yeah, it's just to like mask a cut, as they
Crazy.
transition between the two bits.
I thought I was getting ADHD from how often
It's too
they were
much,
cutting
dude.
stuff in, and every race is full of it.
Oh, full of it, every single race. And at points, they had like 3 or 4 people going across the screen. It was wild. Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, that is a device that I feel should be used sparingly.
Yeah.
There is one moment of this that's pretty embarrassing for the Wachowskis who wrote and directed this movie.
Mm.
At one point, he drives up a cliff. How does driving work? Do the Wachowski siblings not know how to drive a car?
Dude, physics didn't exist in the cartoon. It shouldn't exist in this movie. I'm okay with it.
Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
have another. Okay, well, here's one for you that you didn't list in your actors whose careers fucking died.
Mm.
The dude from Shogun is in this fucking movie.
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't think he says a single word, but he's in it, and his career,
But
he's
he
all
is
right.
literally in every movie for years and years as the token
Yeah, I know.
Japanese man.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? He is in it, and that's my issue with the film. What I was saying before with the adaptation. Just because the character's in the anime doesn't mean you need to have him in. It's so many characters in this
So many
movie.
characters.
It's ridiculous. Like Sparky, I'm sure is a big character in the anime. He does nothing in the movie. Why is he in
Yeah,
it?
yeah, he's not. He's not
That's
there. I
just
also
crazy.
don't think he has an Australian accent in the anime, which is bizarre.
No, 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 no. I also like why are they sharing a big old glass of cold milk at the end, you know?
I just assumed that was like a thing in the anime.
It must be from the anime.
Yeah. I assume so.
Gosh, it's
What else have I got? Oh, so who was the main enemy? Who was that actor?
The like dollar store Tim Curry.
The villain. Yeah, that's such a good. It's so good.
I feel like they wanted Tim Curry for this movie because he plays like exactly how I think Tim Curry would have played it, you know?
Yeah.
Roger Allam apparently.
Okay, never heard of him. I
Mm,
mean, literally the only question I wrote in my questions section was,
another Speed Racer casualty.
why the fuck does this dude want SpeedRacer to race for him? Because he goes in a whole spiel about how he makes all his money from selling engines and I think other shit related to like, why does he want him to race for him?
I mean, dude, none of the other movie makes sense, so why does that need to make sense, you know?
That's a good point, dude.
I think the idea is because he's such a good racer, they want to buy him so he doesn't come in and accidentally win a race as the independent
Oh, fuck that shit up. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
because it'll get in the way of their stock manipulation. Which great for a kids movie talking about the stock market. They don't know what that is.
That was for the parents, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that was for the parents.
That was for the parents.
Do you guys have any more points?
I think I covered it all. What a movie.
I mean, not really, man. It's just a fever dream of a movie, you know?
I'm happy to give my rating first, unless you guys want to jump in.
Lay it on us,
Do it,
dude.
man.
So this movie, I watched it twice. I have been a little sick. We should have done a health check. I've been very sick. We're probably all sick. We don't even need
I
to do
think
it.
I think it's the
Oh,
one
you're
case
healthy.
where Jordan is healthy. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm actually not sick. I am sleep deprived, but I'm not sick.
I fucking hated this film. I gave this film 1 star. It
Wow.
needed to be funny or it needed to have some interesting racing and action or something. I'm so mad I can't express in words how much I dislike this film.
I can't
Like
believe you watched it twice, dude.
I could understand how someone would give this film a 3, like if they're interested in the wacky, insane visual style and they're like, "Oh, this film talks to me. I saw it as a kid," or "I love the anime." Like I could get how you could maybe give this film a 3, not for me, but anybody who gives this film a 4 or more cannot be trusted and is unhinged.
There's a lot of them, dude.
I- those are not serious ratings. I'm sorry.
No, they're 100% serious.
I know everyone has their own opinions, but I do not believe those are you're being controversial to be controversial. You do not really think this film is a 5-star banger because it is terrible. Terrible. It is consistently not visually engaging. Apart from the fact that the visuals are insane and constantly changing, you find it hard. I found it hard to keep watching because everything that it's visually changing to is so ugly. It's just nonsensical. I hated the kid and the monkey jumping up every 5 minutes, just telling not funny jokes. That's where you need to put funny jokes to keep me interested in the film.
You would not like the anime.
I wouldn't like the anime. Well, maybe I wouldn't like the anime. That's a good chance.
I think I've told you this before. My belief is if your rating varies above or below the average on Letterboxd by
Mm.
plus or minus 2, you're either a hater or you're a fanboy. So you fit into the hater category right now.
I'm a hater.
Oh
You're a
my
hater,
god.
dude.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I'm a hater.
Yeah.
You want to go with your rating, George?
Yeah, man. It's a 2.5 for me. And the only reason it gets that
Yeah.
is because there is some nostalgia that tickles in my brain when I watch this movie.
Yeah.
Except for the racing on the track. But it took me back, man. It took me back to when I was a child.
The racing on the track's 95% of the movie.
Well, it's a lot of it, yeah.
2.5. Okay. But like I said, I could understand. I could understand that rating.
And
That's
it's within the variable.
a 4 and a 5 is like The Godfather.
That's crazy.
You know?
I mean, look, I could see it. I was close to giving this a 2.
Okay.
And that's probably more accurate, but the nostalgia put it over the line for me.
I will not gatekeep your rating.
Nick, you're a confirmed hater, bro. Confirmed hater.
I will gatekeep yours.
I'm a confirmed hater.
I thought this was a fever dream. It is, as I said, it's like a Windows XP background in motion, but I do think it is a really good live action adaptation of the show and of like live action anime in general. And for me, that means I'm going to give it a hefty 2 stars.
Oh, shit.
There you go. There you go. So maybe if you've seen the anime.
You're not a hater, dude.
So is it a faithful adaptation of the anime then?
I actually think it is quite faithful.
Okay. Well, that's good. At least that's respectful.
But like, and again, I think I said it before, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, that's a fair summary.
Like, so much of the film's visual identity makes sense if you even just go and look at clips on YouTube now, you'll be like, oh yeah, that shot
It's
actually
funny,
makes sense.
I actually did that
Yeah.
halfway through this movie because I thought I was going fucking insane.
Yeah. and like it does make the film make more sense, but for someone like you, Nick, who like hasn't really seen the show growing up, like you would just be like, what the fuck am I watching?
Well, I do wonder then, did they target it at the wrong audience? Because kids would not have seen, like children of the age they were aiming it at would not have seen Speed
Oh,
Race.
absolutely not.
Yeah, probably not, dude. This was for us.
Yeah.
They should have made it
This was for me and Zach.
Yeah.
more adult. Maybe added some jokes in there, or get some better leads, or direct the actor.
Hey man, it's for adults. One of the kids at the very start drops a hard R.
He does, doesn't he?
That ain't for kids.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Okay, there you go. 2.5, a 2, and a 1. Speed Racer in the book. I will never watch
We
this
did it.
movie ever again.
You've watched it twice as many times as I would have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I saw a good comment on Reddit, or maybe it was on Letterboxd, where someone said that Speedway Racer walked so Fast and the Furious could run.
Ooh, there you go.
that made me jump.
Jordan,
Yeah, what's up?
you've got a list. You've got a list. I don't know if you've made a selection yet.
Fuck, I don't know if I have either.
Vehicle month. What do you think? What are we watching next episode? If you're not sure, I can jump in.
I still think I want to go with Dumb and Dumber, man. I mentioned it to you after the pod last pod we recorded. I think I'm doing it, man. Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Arguably not really a car movie, but there's some iconic vehicles in this movie for sure.
Hey man, I picked Speed Racer.
I mean, that is about racing in cars, yeah. But the dog van, the moped thing that he sells the dog van to get, yeah.
This is a safe space, Jordan. No.
I'm doing it, man.
Now, are we watching the original Dumb and Dumber, or are we going to watch the animated television series?
What is that an option?
It's a 13-episode television series, apparently.
What? I've never heard of this.
Yeah, dude, available to watch on the YouTube, apparently.
There's no way we're watching the original.
Dumb and Dumber. That's a classic. I haven't seen Dumb and Dumber since I was a kid, but I think like all kids my age loved it.
Oh yeah, I've seen this movie many times.
Noted vaccine denier Jim Carrey. Jeff Daniels played Dumb and Dumber. Awesome.
Dude, Jeff Daniels, he really took off, didn't he, after this?
I like Jeff Daniels.
I like Jeff Daniels too.
I love Jeff Daniels. He's great.
He tickles my funny bone. He's good. He never really made it, but gosh, he tried.
Did anyone watch The Newsroom?
Yes, I did.
No.
Was that his TV show he was in?
Yes, and Aaron Sorkin.
Was that good?
Yeah, the first season I thought was quite good, and then the other ones didn't quite live up, but it was good.
I mean, he's briefly in one of my favorite films of all time, Speed. I love.
Is he in Speed? Oh, he's the beginning. Yep.
Yeah.
He's Keanu's buddy, and so I'll always like him for that. Well, there you go, guys. Join us next week for Dumb and Dumber. And if you enjoyed the episode, recommend it to friends, share it around, and we'll see you next time.
Deductible Opinions.
All right, boys. We could do our vocal exercises. Me, 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 me.